Welcome to the Town of Deerfield Select Board of Health Sewer Commissioners meeting for April 8th, 2026. The time is 6 p.m. This is a hybrid meeting, both on Zoom and in the main meeting room of 8 Conway Street, South Deerfield, Mass. This meeting will be held in a hybrid fashion with the opportunity for both in-person attendance and remote participation. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting or hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. The meeting will be held in person in the main meeting room of the Deerfield Municipal Offices. In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, anyone intending to record the meeting must identify themselves to the clerk and provide their name and address for the record. I'll call the meeting to order. First, we'll start with public comment. So if anybody has any comment they would like to say, they come up to the desk. There's mics there. You just need to speak in like this to the mic. And anyone have public comment, please come on up. And just introduce yourself, your name and address, and thank you for your comments.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you. My name is Nikki Stoya, and I am a property tax paying member of the South Deerfield community.
Thank you.
I am here tonight out of respect for the fact that I understand that the South County Senior Center budget is being put on a warrant article. Is that correct? Am I phrasing it correct? And I'm very much in support of that.
A couple things I'll correct. So there is a budget for the South County operations in the omnibus budget, and then the additional money needed to raise if we were going to move, that is on a separate warrant article as a Prop 2.5 override.
Great. Yep. And that is specifically what I'm thanking you all for. I speak for a number of regular users of the South County Senior Center, and specifically for the fitness classes. I speak for them because we perceive the real need to take advantage of the space at 112 Amherst Road that will meet the truly great needs that we have. We are not pursuing this because we want it, but because we need it. I'm not sure everyone is aware, because unless people are regular users of the center, and specifically of the fitness classes, that when we reach capacity, we have to turn people away. It makes me sad when we have to do that. And this is not a gift to the seniors, just as high school is not a gift to our students. This is how we serve segments of the population. So just as we serve students and adults in the population, we would serve the seniors. We would greatly serve the seniors for this. And I have seen people who have various illnesses or any cognitive issues really thrive, both at the senior center specifically and in these classes. And right now we're all over the place. Right. And we are supporting the hardworking members of the senior center staff by volunteering a lot. We set up, we break down. We have a lot of wasted time doing that when we could be serving our seniors even better than we are now. But there are not going to be fewer of us as we go through the years here in the town. There are going to be more of us, and it's very important. And for many, many years, I have happily paid property taxes both in Sunderland and in South Deerfield as an engaged member of the community. I've never had a child in any of these communities in the school system, and I would happily pay for any school enhancements we've had, any infrastructure, because that's what you do when you're an engaged member of the community. So I just want to say once again, there are many of us who use the senior center. We want to continue to use the senior center. We want all the seniors to be able to use the senior center, because we don't just want to leave them pieces of our property. We want to be there for all of our children and our grandchildren. And the way we do that is to keep fit both cognitively and physically. So I am in support and speaking for a number of us of the site at 112 Amherst Road, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comment. Really appreciate you. Any other comments or anybody online? Hearing none, we'll get into our meeting. Let's see, we have a hearing on Circle K, and that's at actually 6:15. So we have about 10 minutes, and we could take care of some other business before that time. Any select board announcements or reports? Anything anybody want to hit on?
No. Just want to say that the windows are going into the 1888 building, the original structure. You and I were just over there. They
We
look
were.
great.
Yep.
And you're a window installer, so I know you have some issues about some of the things that are going there, but that's
just
to be
picky.
expected. Yeah, no, you want it done right. And I think, the color and the brickwork together
Yeah,
looks
looks nice.
fabulous. So.
Yep, it does. It really does look nice. It's exciting to kind of walk through and see what the future is going to be. So it's very nice. Very happy for everybody's work on that. I guess I don't have any other comments. Just a bit busy right now. I did attend the RAPC meeting. I didn't attend MAFCO yet, but I think that's coming up. But the RAPC, which is I think Regional Emergency Planning Preparedness group, gets together as fire chiefs and EMDs. We met last night. We're going over. FERCog has a grant to put together information that people can volunteer to put their information in a registry, that it would be protected, HIPAA regulated, but it would allow first responders to know if you have a medical need or if in an emergency, if the power goes out in your town, you may be on oxygen, or you may need, power for something for your health, or you may just need assistance out of your house if there's an emergency. So it's a registry, and it's a way that you can plug that in. We'll have that for emergencies. Our nurse will have that information. And then we're looking at it's a separate item. This isn't in the grant, but it would give that information over to shelter and control. So when a police officer shows up or first responder shows up, they'll know already driving there what your needs might be, even for regular calls versus a national some sort of emergency. So that's kind of exciting to do. And so always trying to. So I encourage people to sign up for the town of Deerfield uses RAVE, which is an emergency preparedness. You can sign up so that if something happens in town, our chief or sergeant will send out a notice. So if there's any emergencies or something like that, so we encourage you to do that. And I think there's a webinar coming up before the end of the month on this registry, and I'll try to get that information out to the public so people could also sign up for that. That's it. So let's see. We have minutes. Let's see, or any Board of Health items to discuss? Or where we're at with the bus, that kind of stuff. I don't know where we're pending on.
Yeah, we're going to get an update from council on that next
Okay.
week at our meeting on the 15th.
Okay, sounds good. Minutes. Yeah, let's do minutes. Let's see, I move the Select Board approve the minutes of the Select Board executive session held on April 1st, 2026.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. And then I also move the Select Board approve the minutes of the Select Board regular meeting held on April 1st, 2026.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussions, or all those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
Thank you. Trevor McDaniel, aye. Got a couple more minutes. So let's see. That's done. That's done. We could probably knock out the Old Deerfield Craft Fair. I know that's coming up on the 19th of September and the 20th of September, 2026, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I don't know if there's he's applied for his permit, right? I think everything else is this just kind of a notice, right? We don't have anything to vote on, just.
Well, you do actually have a motion in there just to grant some street closures in I think it's a transient vendor.
Okay.
But-
Perfect. I move the Select Board approve the Old Deerfield Fall Craft Fair to be held September 19th and 20th, 2026, including associated street closures on Memorial Street, use of town fields and parking areas, and grant a transient vendor license waiver as requested by the Pecumtuck Valley Memorial Association. I have a second.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Yeah, this has been going on pretty much. This is a regular event. So
Yeah.
all of this.
Many, many years.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. And they do a great job every year. All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Um,
Do you have anything on the?
let me just look here. We've got the job description and right here. That was a minute.
Job description.
I think we'll talk about the zero emission policy, but that will be in a little bit. So we could have an adoption of the updated South County EMS chief job description and vacancy notice pursuant to Chapter 35, Section 7E of the Deerfield General Bylaws. I have a motion on that. Do you want to touch base on
Yeah,
where
I
you're
could just
at
give you
with the
a
meeting?
brief
Yeah.
update.
Sure.
You know, obviously with Chief Sparks' resignation effective June 22nd, we've got to put that position out. Did have a meeting last night with the SCEMS BOO, and they had some minor updates suggested for the job description. I think we wanted to just clarify Massachusetts driver's license.
Yep.
And an active paramedic certification. And then the vacancy notice, the only updates, again, pretty minor, adding the salary range, which is now a Massachusetts state requirement
Correct.
for any vacancy postings. Mentioning ICS and NIMS certification as well as a preference, and that was something that came from Tom Weidenkevitz in Sunderland. And then I'm just adding some additional language around, you know, making sure that the candidates understand they have the option of doing a confidential interview as an initial interview in the process.
Sure. And let's see, I had a question about, was this kind of advertised as a working?
Yeah, so
Position?
in the job description, at the start of the essential functions
Yep.
piece, it should mention working chief, 16 hours on an ambulance required.
Okay.
I did also should mention there's a residency requirement
Yep.
in the vacancy posting.
And yeah, because that's been kind of one of those things that we've been, is that truly needed or is it not needed? But I assume the board has talked that over and feels it's important.
I did bring it up last night. There was certainly, to my eye, not any interest in changing that aspect of the job description at this time. So
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I would be open to revisiting some specific mile limit and saying, you know, these towns, you know.
Yeah,
Because
or in the surrounding area.
yeah,
A mile is
yeah.
hard to pinpoint.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I think you changed that.
yeah, so in the vacancy posting, I didn't use the exact language from the contract. Instead,
Yep.
it just says in or near Deerfield within 1 year of the appointment. And
Great.
so I figure you can work that out with whatever applicants you have.
That makes sense. Okay. So, let's see, I move that the select board adopt the updated South County Emergency Medical Service chief job description and approve the associated vacancy notice pursuant to Chapter 35, Section 7E of the Deerfield General Bylaws, and further authorize the town administrator to post the position.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I know the planning board is, I mean, the personnel board is taking this up shortly too, right? Or
Yeah,
maybe
so
already
I
have-
did
yeah.
want to clarify so that the bylaw referenced is our personnel bylaw. There's a section in there that allows the select board, in the interest of expediency, to just occasionally, okay job descriptions, et cetera.
Not much
So that's what we're
change.
doing, just so
Yeah.
that we can get the job out there.
Yep,
Yeah.
perfect. That sounds good.
And I will be having a personnel board meeting next week, so they'll get that update as well.
Update them, great. Okay, all those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Thank you for your work on that. Okay, we are just about ready. By the time I read this notice, we'll be good to go. Town of Deerfield Office Select Board and Board of Health. The Town of Deerfield is holding a notice of public hearing pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 12, the Deerfield General Bylaws, Chapter 247, the Deerfield Select Board Board of Health as the local licensing authority will hold a public hearing on April 8th, 2026 at 6:15 PM on the application of Circle K Massachusetts LLC DBA Circle K located at 1 Greenfield Road for the following: 1, change of officers, and 2, change of beneficial ownership interests. Documents are on file for public view at the municipal offices during regular office hours and on the town's website at www.deerfieldma.us. Meetings are being held in a hybrid fashion with the opportunity for both in-person attendance and remote participation. For purposes of in-person attendance, the town of Deerfield will host the meeting in the main meeting room of the Deerfield Municipal Offices, 8 Conway Street, South Deerfield, Mass. And I will call the hearing to order. Do you want to give an update on where we're at, or call? I know we have Tyler Hensler here from representing Circle K. Do you want to just have him?
Yeah, we've got. Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler.
Great,
tell
great.
your- Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Attorney Tyler Hensler here on behalf of Circle K Massachusetts LLC. I'm joining you from Boston. Next time I'll try to make it out there. I hear Deerfield is really beautiful, especially this time of year. But
Yes, it is.
have to
Come
do
visit.
remote right now.
That's fine.
This is essentially a corporate restructuring, a change of beneficial interest. There's no real ownership control here. They are inserting, adding some holding companies in the ownership chain at the great grandparent and great grandparent levels.
Mhm.
But nothing will be changing at the actual physical location in Deerfield.
Okay.
It's just paperwork that the ABCC makes us file so that, frankly, the town's records are up to date and the state's records as well. There's also a change of officers. They are removing someone as an Secretary of the Commonwealth signatory on that the licensee that LLC, but no other change of officers
Okay.
to speak of. So really just some paperwork to keep the records updated. But
So-
happy to answer any questions.
Yeah. So local management of holding.
Local management not changing.
Okay. Great. Okay. Anybody at the board have any questions?
I have observed that Circle K is a large organization. Do you have any, can you tell us how many Circle K facilities there are in the country where they serve Canada as well, or Mexico, whatever?
I don't have that information. I should, but I actually am covering this. We have an associate out on maternity leave, so I am I'm covering a client that I don't work with, every day.
Yeah.
I do know that they have several stores in the area, or several retail locations in the area. But I don't have a nationwide figure other than what I could quickly Google.
I won't put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Understand.
Fine. We did I read through all the packet. It is a large corporation. There's a lot of spaces all over the country, listed. Of course, it lists violations if there are any, selling underage and that. We've had none of that local here. So we really, anytime we have somebody come before the board, we always really encourage tips training. Not that any of this is changing, but just for the public to know that we look closely at that and make sure that there's no violations and that people are not selling cigarettes to underage and alcohol to underage. So yeah, that's it. So I don't have any other questions. Anything from the public? Oh, all right. So I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Second,
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hill, GI.
And Trevor McDaniel, aye. Okay, so then I move the Select Board, Board of Health, approve the application of Circle K Massachusetts LLC DBA Circle K 1 Greenfield Road for change of officers and change of beneficial ownership interest pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 12, and Deerfield General Bylaws, Chapter 247, as advertised. Second, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Elchie, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Well, thank you very much, Tyler. Really appreciate you filling in.
Thank you very much.
Being here. Yep, thank you. We'll get you all the paperwork you need. So thank you very much. All of us sign here. Do we want to talk about the warrant first, or do we want to go over this zero emission vehicle policy, or how do we want to go? Let's have a review. Location options also for town meeting, and we got the warrant to go over, I think. That is about it.
Yeah, we could,
Oh, yeah, this is all set. Thank you.
we could start with the location question.
Sure.
Really quick.
Yeah.
So, obviously we've already booked the auditorium for the May 11th meeting. We have currently 8 citizen petitions on that warrant.
Yep.
I know we have this conversation every town meeting, but certainly Cassie had expressed some trepidation about, being able to fit everyone into that room.
Right.
She was asking about overflow space, or if a rain date, so to speak, needed to be identified. But I said I'd bring it up with the board.
Well, I know people sometimes are not excited about doing it in the gymnasium, but that definitely has enough space. We've always been able to accommodate there. I know Dan's never a favor of doing that, but I don't know if it makes, I always love the auditorium. It's more comfortable and, comfortable seats for people and all that. And they're tiered so everyone can see. But yeah, considering there are that many articles, there's a lot of discussion about maybe, the Prop 2.5s as well. So I think there's going to be quite a few people at this meeting. Based on last year's turnout that was even a special, I think, was.
Yeah, that we're pushing up against 400.
Yeah.
And
And
to 500 capacity space.
correct. And I guess, is there anything we can do to the gym to make it more accessible? Or I don't know what the complaints are. Is it just too far for, speaking and doesn't carry voice very
Yeah,
well?
I'm not sure if it was hard to hear or.
Yeah.
Certainly less comfortable.
Right. I mean, I'm in favor of either, but I do understand her concern, and if we could probably get, either one or both at the moment. I mean, I almost feel like it's going to have to be the gym. I don't know if another place. I know.
Yeah, we've got both reserved at the
Oh,
moment.
good.
So.
Okay, so we'll figure that out then. I think DES just isn't big enough. I think the cafeteria there just also isn't. There's not really enough seats for sure, but probably no bigger than the auditorium. So it'd have to be that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a sign that people are interested.
Love it.
That they want to show up to the town meeting. I think that's a good thing.
Yep.
So
We'll
I
find a way.
understand, why Cassie is concerned. So if we have both spaces,
Yeah.
when do we need to make this decision?
Well, I think the real variable is just if we are going to the gymnasium, you need to order chairs.
Yeah, I think we plan on that.
Yeah.
I think the idea of doing an overflow, I think is what's problematic.
I don't like an
and-
overflow. I don't want people in
Yeah.
another room.
No,
not with.
we don't recommend it either.
I
I
don't.
think it's either one or the other.
I think we
and-
just plan on the gym because I feel like it's going to be large enough based on last meeting, there was concern and,
there's enough citizens petitions that
Exactly.
it may warrant.
And
it,
the
but,
override questions, and I
and the
think it's
override,
important
yeah.
to have that,
Yep.
have that there, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I just want to be able to, order
Yeah.
chairs and make sure we've got,
And
what we
maybe
need.
talk to audio too, and is there a way to get several sets of speakers so we can just kind of make sure that it gets all the way down there and
Yeah, he's ready. He just needs
Okay.
to know which space.
okay,
So they're good. Yeah.
yeah, I would say we'd plan on the gym there, as much as nobody loves it, but we can decorate it maybe. Bring some balloons.
Bunting.
Bunting, yeah. Okay, so let's see, I've done that. Well, I guess let's just talk about the zero emission vehicle policy. I know that you're in favor of voting it without,
No,
Bring
no,
it
I
up
think
now.
you made a great suggestion last week, which was, let's just put it into the select board warrant
yeah,
and,
and
you know,
I think it makes sense.
it
to
make,
do.
yeah, it makes perfect sense. And it's the kind of policy that the reason why I want us to do it, not as a citizen petition, is because it makes financial sense for the town to
Correct.
be able to get rebates on vehicles if we happen to buy
Or charging station.
or charging stations. If we happen to buy a vehicle that qualifies because it's a hybrid electric vehicle or a zero emissions vehicle, should they become ones that we would want to use in any of our fleets.
Yeah,
And it also provides for infrastructure that we can ask Eversource to pay for.
mm-hmm. Anything
So,
the town doesn't have to pay for. I'm all for
yeah,
that.
so,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
lets
and-
people vote on it, and
Yeah.
and I think if it's not a citizen petition and it is from the select board, it would carry a little more weight, and it will give the finance committee, because they always look at every article, give them a chance to talk about it at their meeting when they look over the warrant.
Yep.
So I think that makes sense. So we'll just if there's I don't know, do you need a motion or a consensus to just add it to the warrant?
Yeah, I think I've got a motion there for you.
Oh, you do? Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, here it is. I move the select board place the zero emission vehicle policy on the warrant, the annual town meeting to be held on May 11th, 2026. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
So just to restate what I did last week was that the town became a green community back in, I think, 2011 or 13. I'm not sure exactly which date. And part of that process was to adopt a fuel efficiency policy. And the ZEV policy, zero emission vehicle policy, is the follow-on to that. And even if we don't do anything else, if we pass this policy, then under the green communities will qualify for these rebates I was talking about, one of which, would like to look into retroactively the EV that the Eskems bought for their Interceptor vehicle. So
Right.
I don't hold out much hope for retroactive applications, but
You never know. Worth a try. Okay.
so we need to vote.
Oh, yeah, all those in favor? Sorry, I
Blake.
forgot. I thought we did it.
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim LGI.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's done. And then did this. So then we would review the warrant. So I know that you gave us a brief rundown.
Yeah,
Did
and
it here?
you've also got a list of just, article numbers and proposed speakers in front of you. Town council did have an opportunity to review this week and provide some comments. So we're in good shape on that front. I think, the changes since last time, obviously, we're going to have to add that ZEV policy as likely the final article for the select board's warrant.
So I think I've got a weird setup here.
That's what I got too.
Yeah.
It doesn't really show who's doing what. Maybe
There should be a copy of the warrant, though.
I don't see a copy of the
Yeah, I
warrant.
don't
Oh,
have
do
a
you have
copy.
it? I do not. My packet's pretty thin. I got a job description.
Yeah, we're back to the job description for the chief.
Can we take a minute?
Let's take a minute and just print it out.
And then if we could print this at Landscape, Because
No, so.
who's doing the article is cut off.
Yeah, apologies. I sent Greg the wrong thing. I'll send it to him now.
That your phone?
Yeah.
Frontier High School.
No, it's Jeopardy.
Oh, I
Jeopardy.
know, but I don't.
Oh, no, I just have some music for us.
Oh,
while
yeah.
we Wait,
Waiting music.
waiting music.
Just a couple notes while we're waiting. So two new articles on there, citizen petitions at the end, just recently filed today.
Okay,
So we've got a petition to create a 5-member select board,
Yep.
and then also to add a Board of Health chairperson who is not a member of the select board. And that includes some reporting requirements for that position to the select board.
can you help me with the citizens petitions? If they pass, are they become law or are they just a direction? to the
It,
select board?
it varies. So for example, those last two I mentioned, those require special legislation to actually happen.
Right.
So
We would have to
they're kind of the start of the process.
petition them.
yep.
Yep. Okay. Same, what about voting electronic vote tabulators? Is that again just directing us or is it?
Lisa did not mention that one
Okay.
being, requiring special legislation.
Yep.
In theory, you need an appropriation to actually purchase those. So there is a bit of a process there.
Did she mention, I don't know if she looked at all these, the 2-year moratorium on defeated town meeting articles? It doesn't seem,
Yeah, she didn't. She didn't weigh in on whether or not that
That's
was
cool.
actually acceptable.
right, okay. But
Can-
she will eventually
we
or?
get her?
She'll be at the meeting, of course. So
Right,
she doesn't usually get too into the citizen petitions. They sort of are what they are. when
right.
they-
I just wondered, is it even legal to put on a town meeting?
Oh yeah, well, it's a citizen petition. It
So
can
it
go
could be
on there.
anything.
Yeah,
It could be,
it
hey, the
just
sky's blue.
Yeah.
Green or
Yeah,
whatever it might be.
But
Okay,
it would also be advantageous if we knew that it was illegal because
Oh yeah. Well, so at the meeting, at the latest, Lisa will be there to let us know whether or not that's actually something we can do. But generally, what happens is I'll review the warrant and motions with Dan and Lisa,
yep,
and we'll figure out what the motions for those citizen petition needs to be, and it may be moved to pass over this article if it in fact is not something
Okay.
that we can do.
and then, I worry a bit about the rescind the 2011 stretch code because that doesn't put anything in its place and we would have no code.
Right. Another citizen petition.
Yep.
Got a lot this year, so.
Yes, there is. Yep. So the zero energy will go, the emissions will go up into the warrant. Tax work off. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'd love to hear from the finance committee how they feel about the senior property tax work off. And maybe that's a warrant article that we would bump ahead to, but if this board felt like it was important, I don't know when the cutoff date is for that too. When do we?
Well, tonight, basically.
Tonight's
so,
the night.
Yeah. So.
I see.
Yeah. I would also just mention two Articles 16 and 17 are currently just placeholders for the Elm Street project
Okay.
and the Stillwater Bridge project.
Yep.
Lisa did recommend just minutes ago some additional language for those articles. Again, they're just placeholders at this point, but wanted to have them there in case those projects need any assistance. Obviously, Stillwater Bridge going out to bid likely in late April, and then Elm Street in May. So Just want to have some flexibility if possible.
Yes. Yep. Okay, so let's, I guess, just run down this. Obviously, the Article 1 is pretty straightforward. Article 2 is pretty straightforward. Out of district placement, we're still waiting on a number for that.
Correct. Yep.
Yep. And then,
Snow and ice shortfall. I think we're still at the roughly 130,000.
what article?
That's article number 4.
Oh, number 4.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Okay. And you're still around one.
Yeah, that little flurry on Monday
Yeah.
doesn't seem to have done any damage. So-
Thank you. Yeah, it did up in on Route 2. It was like a couple inches out to
Oh, is that
North
right?
Adams yesterday, but yeah, I was behind a sander and I was just thinking, look at all that money. I'm like, that's not us. But
Yeah. I checked with Matt Morrison,
Yeah.
DPW chief, and he said,
nothing. Good.
no pre-treatment, no post-treatment.
Good.
So what did you come up with for a figure?
It's at roughly 130,000 right now.
Okay, thanks.
And again, I think Ollie mentioned it, but it's we're looking at, we have some leftover vocational education funds
Right.
because we didn't have a full 2 students for the whole year, and then likely some free cash.
Yeah.
But towards that as well.
To address that. Okay, good. Then, can I just ask while I'm here right now? So who's doing Article 1? Is that mine's cut off, so I don't know who's.
So there should be, unfortunately, I sent Greg a
That's okay.
wayward PDF. So there's should be a copy that has everyone's initials on the right-hand side, and it's just one page. I don't know if it got printed out. I'll find it for everyone.
Can you, yeah. Oh, I see. It's on the back. It's on the back.
No, it should be all one page.
Yeah, this is it. Just, I think this is one page, right? It says all of. McDaniel.
This is what Tim has. This is,
Oh.
it's got.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah. No, right here.
But then,
No.
These are
I got one here.
Yeah, so Blake's got it. This one is the one you want.
Okay.
can I see that a second? Just so I can write it down.
Share that copy.
Yeah.
Everything else.
So number one
rid
is,
of?
Yeah.
number one is me, right?
Here, you can take this one too.
Number, let's see, splits that. Number 2 is Blake. Number 3, Tim. Number 4, just so I can do this here, the 4 is me. 5 is Tim. Yeah, that's the warrant, yep.
I just want to say that I'm not responsible for the size of the omnibus budget.
And Tim, you may have had to read it last year. I don't recall. So if you want to switch with
Right,
Blake,
I think you did. I think you did have to read it last year. I'm happy to change with you, but.
Oh, yeah. We can negotiate.
Yes, we can change up. And 9 is the override for Blake. And then 10 is Skims, that's Tim. And then 11 sewer, that's Trevor. 12 is capital, Trevor. 13 is, oh, that was 2026. Yeah, and then Blake does the capital for 27. And that's 13. So then 14 would be Kathy, right?
Correct.
For
Yep.
the, for the community preservation. 15, conservation fund.
This is one.
That's you, Tim? Yep, Tim. 15, and then 16 would be Elm Street placeholders, Trevor. 17, Stillwater is Blake. 18, CIPC is Tim. That's the bylaw update. 19 Oh, and these are all citizen articles, so we're not doing any of those, although
I'm
maybe
happy to switch
wanna
with
do the-
Blake on the omnibus budget, and I'll take over the EV policy.
want to do that?
That seemed like a fair trade.
That's a fair trade.
Whatever you want.
We'll do that. So-
Practice for next year.
That's
Got it.
right.
Yep.
That's right. And that's 5, right? I think you have 5.
5 is the,
Is the,
Omnibus
it's the
budget.
omnibus, so that'll be
Okay.
Blake. And then, yeah, so then
which one
he's gonna
Let's see.
do the,
Zero emission policy.
yes, and that is what page is, that's the,
I was, should we talk about where we're going to place the ZEV
Oh.
policy? Do you want to, I mean, it's
21, yeah.
tangentially related to the SCEMS, but capital, but
Yeah, I was just gonna put it at the end there.
fine.
and-
So-
So it'll become 19 and then the citizens petitions will get pushed down.
Correct, yep.
it'll be 19, okay. This one goes to 19, yep. Okay, and then the citizen petition, yeah, and so this tax work-off, does this board feel like it's important to put on as a select board initiative? And what this is allowing seniors to, if there's, a department in town that needs help, seniors want something to do, they have a way to reduce their tax, burden. Is there a income eligibility for this? I couldn't remember. I almost think there was some sort of hardship, ability.
There is, yeah.
Okay.
1 second.
Yeah, for eligible residents 60 years and older or military veterans, further, to authorize. I just want to make sure that there was, I mean, I don't know if it matters, but you want to kind of help people on a fixed income kind of thing that are struggling. It is capped, right? As an income cap? Okay. Yep.
And it's paid at, what, minimum wage? There's a,
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
1,500.
so what we have here is, yeah, $1,500 cap. It does not, spell out, income limits. Seems like that's something that would go into the policy to be adopted by the town.
I see.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in favor. I know Sunderland has it. I don't know if Whately does, and they're working towards it, but I think it's always great to give people an opportunity to work and if they can reduce some of their tax, burden that way and help the town out and be productive and have a purpose to do something, I think it's a great idea. I'm in favor of it. Again, it's capped at number of people too, so it's not like everybody can come. And some years we may not have any need. It just depends on what there would be. But it would give that opportunity for people to work. So,
what's the plan with it?
well, my thought is,
It's the citizen petition.
yeah, and
side.
we could adopt it as a select board, just as
think we
we're
could.
doing the other zero energy policy and support it.
Yep.
And it still may not pass, but I don't know. What are your thoughts, Tim?
no, I have no problem with it. Obviously this would be asking the voters to authorize us to adopt, to create a policy. And then the work would begin to define the policy, find out
Correct.
what the legal structures are. And
Right.
I think it only would affect like a certain number of people per year.
Correct. It was a very,
yeah.
it was like maybe 5 or 10 people total.
But yeah, I think
It's not a huge,
there's a lot of talented retirees that,
Yeah.
or, veterans
Yep.
and give them an opportunity to make a difference in town while also reducing their tax burden.
yeah. I like it. I like it very much. So,
So I don't know, do you have any thoughts on the mechanics of that, Christopher? It doesn't.
To be honest, haven't put too much thought into it, given that we had a citizen petition. We're going to see if that passed first.
Right.
But I know, I've discussed it with Sarah and a couple other folks in town. But yeah, no, not a lot of thoughts. If the select board wants to add it, I would just recommend making a motion to add it to the warrant.
yeah. And I think I would, So I move the select board place the tax write-off program, property tax work-off program, and put it on the warrant for the annual town meeting to be held on May 11th, 2026, as presented.
Second.
Any further questions?
You want to read that one?
Yes. So
No.
the,
Oh, no,
the-
sorry, I
the
meant that
petition-
would be the reader at the art.
Oh, yes,
of the
I'd be
article.
happy to. I'd happy
Great.
to. Do you want me to read it for the, I'll just read this. The petition as it states right now is to see if the town will vote to accept the provisions of Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 5K for senior citizens, and Chapter 59, Section 5N for veterans, and to establish a property tax work-off program for eligible residents age 60 and older and/or military veterans. Further, to authorize the select board to implement and administer said program, including setting policies and procedures in accordance with the state law, and further to set the maximum annual property tax abatement earned through the program at $1,500 per eligible participant, or take any action relative thereto. So we have a second. Did we have a second?
I thought we did.
Yeah.
Second.
No, great. All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Yeah, I'll happy to read that one. And I guess we can go over these again with the finance committee, the rest of them when they meet. We don't have to belabor it tonight for sure. Okay, there was one other item on the agenda.
Oh, we need a motion to actually close the warrant.
Yes, oh, okay. Do we have to? I feel like we're gonna
We
miss
got
something.
8s and petitions already, so you might want.
I better close it quick. All right, let's see. So a motion to the select board to close the May 11th, 2026 annual town meeting warrant in accordance with Deerfield General Bylaw, Chapter 48, Section 3.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
Great. Thank you very much for that reminder. So that's done, 300. And then okay, so I have, this is an item unanticipated. The SCEM staffing, so Morgan Ferrick, motion, move the select board accept the transition of Morgan Ferrick from full-time South County Emergency Medical Services staff to per diem status effective after May 5th, 2026, with appreciation for a continued service. I assume she must be doing another position or something.
Yeah, it looks like Morgan's moving on to nursing school. She is going to be sticking around as a per diem.
Wonderful.
But just having a little bit of change there.
Yeah, she's been a great asset to South County EMS, and wish her all the best of luck. And I'm glad she's sticking around for per diem. That's good. Any further discussions? All those in favor? Or do I have a second? I have a
Second.
second. Thank you. All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Hilchi, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Was there one other thing too? Oh, for the SCEM screening committee members.
Sure, and we don't need to take any action on this
Okay.
tonight. I did just want to update the board. We had conversations with the SCEMS Boo last night. So it looks like in terms of the screening group or committee, we'll have the fire chief from Whately. I am in the process of contacting the fire chief from Sunderland as well about serving on that. And if he's unable to, we'll find another candidate from Sunderland.
Okay.
And then I know Chief Pachurik has stepped forward as volunteering to serve on that as well.
Okay,
So
great.
again, no action needed tonight, but just an update.
Sounds good. Any other updates you have or anything you want to hit?
I was just going to say that
Yeah.
at the Boo meeting last night, it was suggested that it would be nice to have police and fire covered because they are all trained in, that sort EMT basics. And
Ready to
Chief
respond.
Pajork's our EMD.
Yep.
So also having someone who's used to incident command
Mhm.
structure. So,
And
Now-
they always show up together too.
Right.
So,
and I think we also agreed that we wouldn't be having boo members on the initial screening committee.
that's a good idea. Very good idea, because then you'll have a clear view when you see the finals and can make decisions. Good. Any other items you want to hit on, or get out and enjoy this weather?
Still in the 40s. Could be warmer.
But it isn't raining or snowing. So that's good. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
All those in favor?
Blake Gilmore, aye.
Tim Ilchi, aye.
Trevor McDaniel, aye. Thank you all very much. Have a good night. Enjoy
Thank
the
you,
next couple
folks.
days.